To Bulk Reef Supply. This is a demonstration of our BRS Reef Saver rock. In this video we're going to cover the following topics: what makes Reef Saver rock different from your typical dry rock, why to choose dry rock at all, and how to cure it properly. Reef Saver rock is mined from an underground ancient reef. The area that it comes from has unique low pH underground aquifers that slowly create this incredibly porous structure. The rock is completely natural calcium carbonate and has absolutely no issues with phosphate. Reef Saver rock is a BRS recommended item and my personal favorite of all the rocks we sell. The main feature is the unique shape tends to fit securely and almost seamlessly to other pieces. Instead of looking like a pile of rocks, it looks like a seamless rock structure. This is important because most of us don't want our tanks to look like a big pile of rocks. We want it to look as natural as can be. Note that I didn't set these up in any special way. We can use the same three rocks, just rearrange them in a different direction and create the same seamless look, where you almost can't see where one piece stops and the next begins. Reef Saver rock is the easiest rock to aquascape by far. Even somebody who has never aquascaped before should be able to create a unique structure that was easy to build and has a high quality seamless look. This structure here is about 3 feet wide, 1.5 feet deep, and 1.5 feet tall, making it about perfect for a 75 or 90 gallon tank. Should note that this structure is completely stacked. There's no epoxy or pinning used to hold it together. If it was going into a tank, I might use some to create a more permanent structure. The Reef Saver rock is also very clean. It is pre-soaked and pressure washed before it comes to us, which makes cycling much easier. Lastly, you can feel good about purchasing this rock because it did not come out of the ocean and has zero effect on critical reef habitat. While this might not be everyone's primary reason for using it, if you can get some of the best looking rock available and create a more sustainable hobby at the same time, it really becomes a no-brainer. The most common reason people choose dry rock is because it's significantly less expensive due to the initial price and the lack of water weight. You can also ship it ground rather than pay ridiculous overnight or 2-day charges on heavy rock. Eliminating these shipping charges alone will often cut the cost of the rock in half. However, price really isn't the main reason that we recommend dry rock. When most people purchase live rock, they're typically looking for the largest amount of biodiversity available, meaning they're looking for as many corals, critters, types of bacteria, and coralline algae as possible. We advocate dry rock for the exact opposite reason, because it is dead and there's no diversity. With dead rock, the only thing that will ever be in your aquarium is what you choose to put in there. If you're careful about what you put in there, you'll never encounter the pests that plague almost every aquarist. The only beneficial thing that most live rock comes with is coralline algae and bacteria. You can seed coralline algae of any color you like by buying one small piece from the fish store and adding it to the tank. The nitrating bacteria will populate no matter what you do. It'll just take a bit longer to get started. The rest of the diversity is generally unwanted items like pest anemones, bubble algae, parasitic isopods, mannish shrimp, acro-eating flatworms, little red bugs, fireworms, predatory nudies, or any other number of things that can plague your aquarium. This is an example of a tank that has been completely overrun by common pest and enemies. Now that they've been introduced to the tank, it may be possible to control them, but almost impossible to completely eradicate them. These are very commonly found on live rock and will sting and kill corals as they spread. This plague was started from one small anemone on the base of a torch coral that I had added to the tank. I noticed the anemone a few days later and removed the coral. If I had paid slightly more attention, I would never have these in the tank at all. One of the local maintenance companies and tank installers first pointed out the advantages of dry rock to me. He started using it in new tank installs because he found it absolutely unacceptable to be introducing these pests into clients' tanks. Since then, we've picked up many other tank installation companies who are also using predominantly only dry rock. We've developed our curing process based on advice from these vendors since they typically have the same needs as our customers. They want to get the tank up in a reasonable amount of time and without any issues. Please note there are 100 different ways to properly cure rock, and none of them are completely wrong or right. If you choose to stray from this and try something else, please feel free. I've seen this done with success as simple as giving the rock a quick rinse and throwing it directly in the tank. However, like everything in this hobby, the more patience you have, the more success you'll have. So we've developed a slightly more in-depth curing process. In a brand new tank, we suggest throwing the rock directly in the tank and building the structure that you'd like. After that, fill the tank with heated water and add some amount of circulation. If you have some used salt water from a water change you've recently done, it's best to fill the tank with that. That'll add some of the bacteria and get things jump-started. You then let the rock sit there for 2 to 3 weeks with no light and let a biofilm form over the surface of the rock. From that point on, you can treat it pretty much like you would any live rock tank. Add a single hardy fish for cycling, small amounts of food, and monitor ammonia levels. Slowly add fish and livestock from that point on. If you're going to use dry rock in an already existing tank, we recommend soaking it in some heated salt water with a bit of circulation. You can use a garbage can like this or some other container. If possible, we suggest using the wastewater from a water change to add beneficial bacteria. Again, you should let it soak for 2 to 3 weeks. Really, the longer the better. It will allow it to form that biofilm over the surface. After that, give it a quick swish and add it to the tank. If you have any other rock questions, please feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email. Thank you.